So to get a bit more meta in what marriage is, you just gotta think about a union between two things. Like this pen is married to this pen. Let's see. This ink is married to this paper. Um, this cable is married to this charger. So the difference between an illegal and legal marriage would kind of be like this. You know, it's an illegal marriage. It shouldn't. It's not right. It would need some kind of additional sellotape or something because it's kind of useless. But in a moment, if it's forced quite strongly, well, it can be a bit useful actually. But it's not quite right. This should have a different lid. And now look, this one is now lidless. And really, this should be married to this. Fits perfectly. It's one union. Honestly, the creator of this has created it this way. The creator of this did not intend for this one to be without this lid and to use this in a forceful manner to have barely the same function, to look awkward, and basically be destructive to, at the very least, one of the parties. This cover is slowly getting destroyed the more that it's forced on to the other. So I believe that's one way to look at marriage. Really, this is legal marriage, and marriage should be done young. It should be done immediately, right? You don't want to have this exposed for so long until it's old and dried and worn out, and then it finds its lid. The lid then wouldn't have too much purpose. It wouldn't help to keep this protected and keep it working and functioning properly, because it needs to immediately have this on. And so that's why I say that you should go from a marriage of mother and father, a healthy marriage there, and then immediately go into another union. And so you may be young, you may be old when that happens, but that whole point is to keep the function, to keep the purpose and design of this. So marry young, marry full stop, so that you're not doing illegal, improper, immoral marriages, one could argue. And yeah, that is a way to consider what marriage is. So, is the partner that you wish to have, is it fitting right? Is it the way it's supposed to be designed? Things worth consider. And where exactly are you going to get these kind of things? This thing was bought from someone who knew the creator very well. He was full of order. He was able to manufacture these things, distribute them. And so you were bought at a price. You were created by a creator of order. And so you should be used properly. You should respect yourself, respect others, find your purpose, discover who you are, discover how you were created, how you were saved, how you were bought, and from there find the correct marriage.
And it's a journey to find out who you are, to find out who you should be with, to find out what's the correct marriage for you. What is for sure the most appropriate marriage is the marriage between you and your creator. So the creator of that pen, the creator of whatever, the creator, a car manufacturer, whatever. If you are a product of a creator, that creator made you for a reason. There's a whole history of your creation, what you are used for, what your purpose is. And so the greatest marriage you can have is between you and your creator. And your creator may have designed you, or the creator may have something that activates in you when put into certain situations, that you being married to this individual, to this job, to this whatever, to this bed, will be more profitable for you and your purpose.
So what you want really is a marriage that has purpose, that will last. This is a great marriage. They're serving a purpose, but there's going to come a point where the roles, it's going to be reversed, and this is going to charge something else, or even it has room for another cable, So this is a relatively immoral marriaging, and it would actually be detrimental to have this married to this all the time, because it would eventually kill the battery. So you got to think about appropriate marriages, and moral, illegal. These are all worth considering. Are you in a legal marriage? Are you in a moral marriage? Is it gonna stand the test of time? Yeah. So the purpose of this marriage is this cable and this battery. So this cable is attached to this computer, and this computer is then attached to the charger of the computer, and then that charger is connected to the power socket, and then that power socket is connected to electricity, which is generated by, some kind of steam probably at some point, and that steam is made from the resources that God has created, that through mechanisms of heat which God has created, but collected by a human kind of collaborative, cooperative. And so essentially there's a human collaboration cooperative which feeds energy into this cable, which then charges this. And these two cables came, this cable, although it looks black and it looks like it's fitting, it actually didn't come with this, to my knowledge. Maybe it did. Anyway, right, so from the cooperative of humans, this is now being charged with that energy through this cable. So this marriage is beautiful. So this is now being charged up to its full. It's going to be full of charge, and it's all thanks to this, and thanks to God creating the resources, humans putting it all together. But look, you can see that there's two other ports here. So this battery has the capability of releasing its energy and charging up other things, which can then also be useful. And that's, kind of cool. But it could also be charged up, though, by another source. And there's a white cable over there. This is the black cable. A white cable can charge this up. And so, this marriage it's interesting, okay? Because let's say this cable has some kind of accident, doesn't work anymore, doesn't charge this up, right? If this cable dies, right, this needs to be charged up by something else. And so it'll find another cable that will be charged up. And this is how we can understand how when your partner dies, you are not obligated, but you are allowed to remarry, and that's a moral thing. So when this cable dies, you're allowed to put in another cable there. However, to be swapping over the cables that charge this up all the time is not really necessary. Let's say this charger becomes faulty. There's ways to repair it, perhaps. But maybe there aren't. Okay, and maybe you need the other cables, but it doesn't mean this cable has to go away. This cable can be here while this is being charged up by another cable. Maybe that could be like some kind of, I don't know, carer or pastor or job or something, I don't know. And so then, once this cable has charged this up to full, now these two ports can be used to charge others up. So what has just become one cable, one charging, there can be two charged from here, and this can be charged up at the same time. So this is an incredibly bountiful union. And so you could see this as maybe a kids or job and kids. You can see this as a wife. You can see this as a husband, or you could see this as a wife, and you can see this as a husband, and you can see this as kids or whatever. So, yeah, really okay, great. But yeah, as I said, married to your creator, staying loyal to him, knowing him, that is the ultimate marriage that should happen, that everyone should be involved in. However, marriages on earth, right, should be representing your marriage with God. So they should be covenant. They should be no divorce. They should be, God will find a way for you and your partner. If you believe in him, if you accept him into your life, if you accept his guidance, he will find a way for you and your partner to prosper, to be edified, to change the world in a great way, to be reconciled with him, to have no fear, to have unlimited strength as necessary to your edification. So that's something that we always must remember about marriage. As much as it doesn't, that with the analogy that at times it works to be married to other things, and maybe inside your marriage to be a bit separated for a bit, and I don't know, baloney. But look, really, there are some pens like this one that doesn't need to be married to anything. It's self-contained. It doesn't really need. So you may be like this individual that doesn't need a marriage, that works better alone, essentially. And but you may be like this. You need to stick under a marriage. You got to discover who you are and what's right.